is Angel Girl, and welcome to a thing which is almost definitely going to be a series where I talk about things while I draw. Considering it's the Ides of March and I actually read this play in school earlier this year, I figured it would make sense to do this now. Plus, I work much faster under pressure, so giving me a week to make this video kinda works. Now, about 2 or 3 years ago, probably more like 2.5 years, some people from my school set up a thing to go see a production of Julius Caesar because some of the older kids were reading Shakespeare junk and this was one of the plays. And my class ended up reading it too, like I said earlier this year. Now, one thing about Shakespeare junk, you've got to know the plot. I don't remember if I looked up a summary or not, but a little quirk I have about me is that if I can't understand what's happening or I can't keep characters straight, I'd put characters I do know and imagine them acting out what's ever happening. And this was extremely beneficial when reading a play. You know, in a book, where there's no descriptions of what any of the people look like. First, we need a summary of who's going to be playing who. It's a play. We need actors. And we only actually need 5 people in this comic. Caesar, Soothsayer, Brutus, Cassius, and someone? I don't actually know who she's playing. The OC's name's Athena. But it probably had something to do with the fact that this production's Octavius was played by a woman, and it was a little confusing since they didn't call her a guy, she was clearly a female. And yeah, I get it, sometimes actors do have to cross-dress. I mean, back in the day, all girls' roles were played by men, but I was confused. Also, this version was set in an office building and the war came absolutely out of nowhere. The first panel is the Soothsayer coming out of nowhere being all, "Beware the Ides of March," and everyone's like, lol, what? Now, a change we can bother to mention is that the cat guy is actually not mine. His name is Goosefeather from the Warrior Cat series. Why is he here? Because the guy we're adding in didn't exist yet. I'm giving the Soothsayer's role to this guy called Edward, and all you need to know about him is, much like Goosefeather, he's crazy and talks to dead people. Nobody ever believes Goosefeather when he says his prophecies, nobody ever believes Edward when he says his prophecies. Kind of a big point is that Caesar is too proud to listen to the Soothsayer's prophecies. It's this whole thing. We'll talk about the guy playing Caesar in a minute, because I don't have a lot of time for each panel, but I did decide to draw the whole thing twice, once comedic and once serious. Because I can. Cassius is a jealous, manipulative jerk, and Brutus is a sad boy. This works perfectly. Keep in mind this was also before I decided Ribbon, that guy, was destined to be a villain in every universe but his own, so it really was destiny, I guess. I do remember for a while being confused as to who was Cassius and who was Antony, but that was totally on me. So we've got this bird guy being Cassius, and this science boy, his name is Will, being Brutus. Reason being, Ribbon is the kind of guy to join a conspiratorial plot to kill a king just because he's jealous. And Will would be all depresso and sulky while the guilt of thinking about doing something that bad ate at him until he decided it was right and then continued to feel guilty until that one scene in Act 5. It's not in character for him to want to self-delete, but then again, that kind of thing wouldn't even show up in one of my stories. I only have one OC with a more guilt-based backstory than Will, and it just would not work, okay? I just can't see it. Flaring is just too pure. So, it's this scene. There's nothing I can say about this scene. The actual stabbing is really short and speaks for itself. Some guy wants his brother unbandaged, Caesar's like, nah, and then he gives a speech about how cool he is and how he's never going to change, which is what Brutus was afraid of him doing, so he's, like, refuting Brutus without actually knowing it. And then some guy called Kaza, who doesn't really do anything at all, but he does this, stabs him in the back of the neck, and then everybody else starts stabbing him, and then Caesar's like, oh, wait, Brutus, you're in on this too? Well, okay then, if you want me to die, then I guess I might as well die, huh? And then it's actually a little bit sad. And while we're getting the "and you, Brutus," then I may as well talk about who the heck was being Caesar for this, because he's kind of important. Even though he's dead now. Yeah, there was kind of no contest for this. The OC's name is Emperor. His main personality trait is making the room go quiet due to the power of being big and intimidating. He's not mean, but he just works. He's also kind of the only one that could fit this role, and no, I did not think too much about this. Speech time. That's it. Brutus tries to explain the whole thing to the panicking commoners, and it all boils down to he was gonna turn evil if we didn't stop him. So we stopped him. With knives. The people accept this immediately. Before rioting 5 minutes later. So I added this one in from the original comic just so I could actually have Antony since he's kind of important. I don't know if I forgot it in the first comic or if the version we saw cut it since it was abridged or what, but the friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I've come to bury Caesar, not praise him, and I didn't memorize the rest of this monologue is pretty iconic. I have minimal reason for making this fire guy Antony, except that the book script thing that I had character descriptions in the beginning and said Antony was passionate, and you know what? Sure, that works. He sets himself on fire for no reason. It works. Okay, yes, I admit it, I just wanted Octavius in here. I'm not sure why I have two villains as antagonists who are technically more justified than the conspirators, but I wasn't thinking about that. This whole thing is making me question my reasons, even if they made sense before. Fun fact, the fire guy and the edgy cat look similar because they're clones of the same person, but with other people's DNA mixed in. I won't confuse you with pointless OC lore no one asked for, but that's why they look similar. It's on purpose, okay? Trust me. Ah, yes. Seeing some dead guy is a tradition in Shakespeare's tragedies. I can't believe that when I drew this for the first time I didn't even add the blood, so I went back and I fixed it. Something cool I remember about the version that we saw is that because this was set in an office and everyone was wearing suits and jackets and stuff, during the stabbing scene they yanked Caesar's jacket off him and the shirt underneath it was all bloody and junk, and then he comes back as a bloodied up ghost. For the caption I just said what Red from Overly Sarcastic Production said when she was summarizing this. You're a jerk. I know. I'll be back tomorrow. Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. In the first comic, I drew this before the ghost scene. I don't know if that was me being confused or the way the version did it, but here we are. Truth is, I don't actually care that Cassius is dead. Heck, I don't even care Ribbon, the guy being Cassius here, is dead. It's just a play, my dudes. It doesn't actually affect anything. I feel like giving Ribbon a dramatic death scene would be both a blessing and a curse, because he'd just be so freaking dramatic. I feel like he would want to, though. Or maybe I'm just an OC creator who wants to justify casting one of my characters as the guy who dies in a lot of things. Okay. Here we go. I cut that one random panel about random fighting junk because it wasn't necessary, but for real, I want to be able to draw this legit. For one reason and one reason only. Angst. I may or may not have a special attachment to this scene because I did it for my class, and I think I did a pretty good job. Now, comedically, this was gonna be like, okay, I'm done. I'm just so tired right now. The serious one, on the other hand, how about, I feel so guilty about everything I've done that even though I was trying to do something good, I kept second-guessing myself, and now there's nothing I can do to get out of the situation. Also, the culture around me thinks that this is a good way to keep what little honor I have left by not letting anyone else get the final kill on me, so I guess this really is the only good idea I've had recently. It's kind of sad that earlier on Brutus thinks self-delete is a bad idea, and then Cassius self-deletes because he thinks his friend is dead, even if said friend is fine, and then said friend also self-deletes, and then Brutus self-deletes because he just can't anymore. Plus we get the line, Caesar, now be still, I have not killed thee with half so good a will, and it's just sad. I tried looking up Brutus's death scene on YouTube, and I couldn't find anything, which was disappointing, to say the least. So, here we are. A 2.5 year difference, and really, I don't think I could have made this if I didn't still have that comic. So, PSA, keep your old art. Rather than thinking, oh, ew, look how bad this was, try thinking, oh, wow, I've gotten a lot better. It's hard, trust me, but it'll help your self-esteem. I tried looking it up, but I couldn't find anybody trying to do anything like this. You know, drawing OCs as Shakespeare characters. But in a play, character designs vary each time, so who can stop me? I do want to do more stuff like this, considering I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent but vaulting ambition, but I'm holding back, because not only do I lack a wife who'll convince me of regicide, but this is just so weird and niche to have anime cat people, or rather, a bird, a scientist, a dog, a blaze, a cat, and that Australian guy, acting out plays from 400 years ago. But no one watches these videos anyway, and I have fun making them, so it doesn't even matter. So, anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for now. So, as always, leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye, people! And beware the Ides of March, my shifter back. I need to fix the way I'm freaking wording everything. I don't like this. In school earlier this year, why am I having such a hard time with this intro? And we only actually have 5 people in the comic: Caesar, Soothsayer, Brutus, Cassius, and someone. I'm gonna redo that just because I think the door slamming got into that. I tried looking it up, but I don't think anyone else tried doing anything like this. You know, drawing FCs as Shakespeare characters. I tried looking it up, but I don't think it... frick my life! I want to do more stuff like this because I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent but vaulting ambition. But I'm holding back. Not only do I lack a... I need to read through my script before I record. Hold on. Characters. But in a play, character designs... I hate how every little noise I'm afraid is going to get in the background and it hurts me. But in a play, the character designs vary each time, so who's to stop me? I kind of want to do more stuff like this because I have no spur to prick the sides of my... I hate the creaking of that freaking bedroom door. I tried looking it up, but I don't think anyone else has tried doing anything like this. You know, drawing OCs as Shakespeare characters. But in a play, the character designs vary each time, so who's to stop me? I do actually want to do more stuff like this because I have no...